my man Tom Coughlin would literally, before they start training camp days, you would call your guy at the National Weather Service. No?
Oh yeah.
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 We didn't have
the guy.
We didn't have any of that anymore.
We're training. Well, we're training here, but we're training in New York, and we're in Albany. I got no place to go if it rains.
Yeah.
Now, when I was in Jacksonville, if it rained and we hit the monsoons for a week straight one time.
Yeah.
And Tony will remember that.
Tony Boselli's standing by here.
I'm taking these great players. We're on concrete over in one of those. It wasn't a baseball field then.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know what it was, but it had a concrete floor.
Tony, I'm sure
First of all, let's be clear.
I don't think you complained at all. That doesn't sound like
He never
you.
complained.
First of all, here's the reality. We maybe went there once or twice because Tom was not moving practice unless lightning actually struck a player
That's
on the
fair.
field.
Yeah.
The best is lightning would be cracking everywhere, and Tom would have Mike Ryan counting.
Is there truth to
One,
that? Like the old neighborhood game.
That's what it was.
Does that even work? Did we document
Well, it
that?
didn't matter.
How about
Is that real?
Perkins would start down, and I said, "Get
back up. We got
there.
Perkins
What
in
are
a
you
middle
doing?
thing."
We're in the middle of a 9-on-7. Get up there. We can't be. You got to get the tape of this."
The best was one time it was cracking everywhere, the lightning. And we weren't moving. Everyone's looking around like, how long are we staying out here for this? And all of a sudden, one hit really close, and we ran up. He didn't even say anything. We just left.
I didn't get a word in. They ran 100 miles an hour in the fastest I've ever seen them run. The whole team.
You know what?
We're gone.
It wasn't like one or two guys remained out there. No.
He can find us all if he wants, so we're gone.
And I think the coaches went too.
That's the biggest revolt you had the entire time was lightning caused.
But that was the problem. The problem here was lightning. The problem in Albany was rain. And we had no place to go, so I'd have guys in there 6 o'clock in the morning. I had one on the staff that was responsible, and I had a guy who worked for Albany State who was my weather guy. And they'd have to come in and tell me about the potential
beautiful.
weather problem.
All right, I have a Hall of Famer to my right, and Tony, I think we both
You should be in the Hall of
believe
Fame.
that we should have 100%. A Hall of Famer sitting to our left, and we get closer each and every time. And now, it's been a year. You've kind of been in that circle of people, and it's a group of accomplishment, and that Tom Coughlin belongs in.
Well, don't forget about me, but
I'm not going to forget about you.
Someone like when you sit there and you realize you're in the audience watching Tony accept and you got Dick Vermeil up there, you got Leroy Butler up there, and you realize again, I was out there for Strahan and that. This is really something,
and something you can be proud of.
John,
for sure.
John Madden. I made the mistake one time with John. I said, John, the fields are so bad here. And they were.
Yeah.
I said, we played the Buffalo Bills at the Hall of Fame. We played the Buffalo Bills, and it was like we're on artificial, but it wasn't. It was
terrible, yeah.
It wasn't even. I said, John, how can we play with this quality of team? Can't we do something about the game? John said, I will never say one word against the Hall of Fame, And I, at that time, but when you realize it, you realize the significance of it, and but when you sit there and you think about the people that are in there, and you walk around in there, and you look at the names.
Yeah, I know. It was fun. It was a fun to celebrate with Tony.
When John Madden said that, when the
lights go out,
when the lights go out, we talk, we have conversations. I love that one.
It's a great one.
Because I can imagine that goes on. I can imagine that goes on.
And you talk about that. I mean, one of the great
like a night at museum kind of.
The Thursday night before the Hall of Fame, they do a champagne toast with the only people allowed in that room are the Hall of Famers.
Ooh.
And the older guys give a toast, and when you're a young guy like me, in that group I'm young, you just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, there's some education going on.
You have Mean Joe Green give a toast, Larry Zonka. I mean, these are the greatest of the greats of the play. And that's what the Hall of Fame is about, is the greatest of the greats. And Tom Coughlin should be in there because he's one of the greatest of great coaches ever. 2 Super Bowl
100%.
wins, built a franchise, most successful
100 million%.
New franchise.
And we're not buttering toast here.
No, it's two AFC Championship games. We blew those two things. That still drives me crazy. But, I mean, just the way he built the team. I mean,
remember practicing on the roof in Providence?
Yes, I did.
Because we at Brown University, the only place we could go, they had turf on a garage.
This is the 96 year?
96.
This is 96.
Was it about 8 degrees,
I'm
too?
not going to say any
cold.
names. It was cold. But we had the long snapper was not having a good day.
Yeah.
And that kind of,
That threw us all there.
You snapped the ball over the punter's head
Yeah,
on the first drive.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, you see it, especially when you look
But
back.
you know what?
We still should
To
have
this
won.
day, if we had the 1 o'clock game, we would have won.
Yeah.
That was a cold,
Cold.
dark,
And remember the,
damn.
It was
the
close to the
power
end.
went out. Remember the power went out the
out.
same. So we're sitting there for
Power went
15
out.
minutes
Yep.
with no power, and
Yeah. That
but
wasn't-
but
Y'all were
the
so
reality-
young. God, that was so fun, man.
But the
Covering
reality
that.
is-
y'all had fun
It was
playing
fun.
it.
the Hall of Fame is about having the best. And Tom is one of the best coaches to ever be on a sideline. He proved it too, not just because we're saying it, because of his record here
Yeah.
in New York.
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
Super Bowl victories. I mean, you just go down the list, and then if you really want to, and I would, we're talking about the stadium and everything getting done here, and I told someone the other day, I said, you can. I'll let you guys debate the politics of how much money this or that, but you better count what this team has done for this community.
No question.
In giving back. And Tom's responsible for that, too, in my opinion, because he brought us all here. And there was a certain type of guy that Tom wanted to bring in. And you look at the money that's been given back in this community, showing up to hospitals, showing up to schools, doing camps, and then probably the leader of all of them is the J Fund.
Sure.
Of how much money they raise, the people they impact in this community. So I'm excited that he's going up in the pride of the Jaguars this year.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. To me, that's like the no-brainer of all time.
For sure.
And I think the Hall of Fame is a no-brainer in my opinion as well.
But I think, Tony, and you just said it very well, but what the Jaguars have meant to this community, thank God. Thank God, because it has elevated everything
right.
here.
Well, listen,
and you look at the
families.
our players stay here.
That's right.
That's right.
They stay here and they
reason.
live here and they become citizens here and they raise their families here. I mean, that's a tremendous statement about the quality of these young men.